you can't chase your dreams when you're broke. And I say that not because you actually can't chase your dreams, but the reason why I say that is because it's a lot harder to do so when you're actually broke. So I'll just tell you this story of mine. Before I used to, have dreams and all that. So the dream usually is to like build a YouTube channel, do storytelling stuff, things of that nature. That's always been my dream, right? So I'm trying to build this YouTube channel or do this storytelling stuff, and I realized like, wow, this stuff is going to take a long time before it actually pays off. It's going to take a while. So I'm like, okay, not bad, but like I need money today. I need money right now. Even though they say you should think long term and everything, which is absolutely true, but like you need money today. You need to eat today. You cannot starve for like 6 months straight, or you cannot starve for 1 year straight. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to give me money today? So then I go off the rails and start looking at all these other fancy side hustles and business models and all that. Then I start trying. I go around the whole circle and everything, dropshipping and SMMA. Like I do all these things. Then while I'm trying to do many of these side hustles, I realize that wow, many of these side hustles will take just as long, or even longer, or equal to the same time it takes for me to build my dream. So the dropshipping or the SMMA or the copywriting, if it's going to take, let's say, 6 months to start making reasonable money from it, I don't think if I just put those 6 months into my dream of building a YouTube channel, doing storytelling stuff, like I'll start seeing reasonable money from that one too. So why am I not chasing this thing? So I abandon the side hustle, make money, whatever. Then go back to the dream. Then while you're back in the dream again, I realize that wow, I need to eat. Like wow, I have debts and I need to pay off these debts. Like I have all these things. And then I start thinking again, okay, what can I do to make me money fast? But the point I'm just trying to make is like, is significantly harder to chase your dreams when you're broke, because you can't focus. Like that's the main thing I noticed. It's like it's very, very hard for you to focus on the dream, that's like, because before I used to beat myself down, just like I explained earlier, like the time I'm using to chase all these side hustles and stuff, if I just put it into the dream, I would have achieved it by now, which is true to some degree. But it's harder to focus on that dream. It's harder to just do that thing when you have rent coming up, when you have debts to pay, when you don't know what you're going to eat this evening. Like it's harder for you to do that, because all these things are going to keep bothering your brain. The idea is like you cut out all distractions and just go all in on one thing, which is just your dream. Focus on your dream, work very hard on it, then 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever, you eventually become successful. But it's very, very hard to do that when, like I said, rent is coming up. You have to pay your rent. And where the fuck is the money going to come from? And the dream has not even gotten close to clicking. Or bills. You have bills to pay. You have to pay for this. You have to pay for that. Or you have debt. You have to pay off this money you borrowed before. Like all these things makes sense. And I realized that all these things cause distractions. So the side also stuff that I said earlier, so it's also a distraction. So I noticed that the only way to actually chase your dreams without any distraction at all is to have money saved up. I'm not reading the script right now, I'm just trying to think. That's why I'm not this person. It's to have money saved up, because if you have money saved up for like, let's say 6 months or 1 year worth of money saved up, like you can easily focus all your time, energy and attention on this dream, because there's no rent coming up that you need to pay. You're not like, what am I going to eat this evening? Like, you know all these things because you have money saved up for them. So you can easily settle them and you can focus all in on your dreams. But when you don't have money saved up, when you have zero to your name, like as is for me, it's significantly harder because all these things come your way. So I noticed that this once you're in this situation, if you don't have any money saved up, which is almost everybody, you're going to have to choose one of three distractions. Things that you must get distracted. Like it's just how it is. Like as much as you try to want to focus one thing all in, which is very good, which you should, it's just harder and you have to get distracted. So to me, there are three distractions you must choose from. The first one is, just the dream. Like you say, no, I still stand by this, my dream, whatever the thing is, whatever the hustle, whatever you're trying to push. I still stand by this. I just want to do this and do this only, and do it very long, very hard, till I'm the best, until I succeed. Which is true, which you would. But the problem with this one is, it's going to take a while, just like everything in the world does. Everything in the world takes a while before like before success comes. But the main problem or disadvantage here is that while for those 3 months, for those 6 months, for those 1 year, like it's very hard for you to focus, because while you're there making all these YouTube videos or writing all these scripts or practicing writing this code or sending these emails or whatever the thing you're doing is, you're like, what am I going to use this? You're like broke as fuck that you cannot afford like basic amenities, like, and that type of stuff will really fuck with your head. Except, I don't know, maybe you're a super person that doesn't bother at all, but for most people, at least for me, it really fucks with your head when you realize like, wow, the money I borrowed since the beginning of this year, I've still not paid it off, and all these loan apps are calling me like every day at this point. So what am I going to do? Like, at that point, it's hard to chase your dream, because your attention will start getting divided from the dream. Like, you start to think a lot about all this stuff. You're on your bed in the night, you're just thinking, when you need money to enter bus, I cannot afford to enter bus. Then you need money to do it, like buy internet so you can upload the video, do something. Like, you don't have money to upload the video, you have to walk up and down, be looking for free Wi-Fi. Like, when you do all this, it makes chasing the dream harder, and it starts to make you get distracted. At least for me, that's what I noticed. When you have a little bit of money, like that's if you choose to do nothing and you're just chasing the dream, like you can't even think long term enough to want to invest in the dream. Because if you have some money now, a little bit of money enters your account, the only thing in your mind is just you want to eat. Like, you just want to survive. It's almost like you have not been eating well for like the last 3 months or the last week or something, and a little bit of money enters your account. Like, of course you want to eat properly, like at least that's how I usually feel. That cravings, you want to eat and enjoy yourself. So all the money you won't, like, it's very hard for you to think about saving or investing in like equipment or software or tools or whatever for the dream thing you're trying to chase. So you basically spend all this money on food, like literally, and maybe just other basic stuff like that. So the second distraction, if you're saying, okay, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to always be thinking of what I'll eat every night, is to get a job. And this one is like the normal classical one, like the normal way. And getting a job is not bad, because it actually give you money, since you have money to cover many of your basic needs. But the problem with getting a job is it's very expensive. And not expensive in the sense of pay money. Like, it's very expensive in resources, which is especially time and energy. Like, getting a job will literally drain you of a lot of time and energy, especially if it's like standard 9 to 5, whatever. And usually, except maybe you have graduated and you have a decent degree and all that, the job is usually shit. Like, it's usually minimum wage, menial, shitty, crappy jobs. So this is like, it's hard, and it's a distraction to your dream. Because if you're going to work 8 hours every day, and 9 o'clock in the morning you're in your job, and you come back 5 in the evening, like when you come back by 5, you're very tired and you just want to chill out and rest. So you, like, at that point, wanting to sit down and build your dream or work on your business or whatever, like, it's very, very hard, very difficult. It's something you will not want to do. So you just prefer to like sit around, play video games, watch TV, watch random things, scroll on your phone, go and sleep, then wake up the next day and repeat. And that also is a distraction, because it's like distracting you from your dream. But the advantage with this one is like you're not wondering what you're going to use this evening. Like, to some degree you still, but like you can afford the basic stuff now. Like, can afford things to some degree. You have a little bit more money to like work with, so you're not super desperate to eat and all that. But you're literally drained of time and energy every single day. The advantage with this one though is if you can discipline yourself enough, and you do the usual entrepreneurial grind mindset, which is like 9 to 5 is your job in the morning, then 7 to 2, that's at night, you work on your dream stuff. So if you can do that, like, you really kill it. But it's still a distraction nonetheless, because if you didn't have the job, you have literally the whole day to work on your dream thing. Then the third distraction, which is one I usually used to fall for, is like side hustles. So side hustles doesn't really sound bad, but it's also a distraction because it takes away from the main thing. So the main dream is, whatever it is to me, is building a YouTube channel and telling stories and all that. For somebody else, it could be like building an app or writing code or sending emails or learning sales or whatever it is. That may be the main dream, the main goal. So all these other side hustles, all these little side quests, they usually come and they are distracting. Because all of a sudden you see this other business model that is shiny, that looks like, wow, within the next month, if I just work on it, I'll be able to see money. Then you start doing it, then you see this other one, then you see this other one. Then while you're doing this one, you realize, wow, it's not that easy. Then you jump to this one, then you're doing it. Like, that also is very, very distracting. And the disadvantage with this one, that I fast is distracting, is like money is not guaranteed, because you could do the side hustle stuff for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and still see nothing. I'm like, I even used to realize many times that this side hustle will take almost just as long as the main dream itself. So it's like, what's not the point of the side hustle? The side hustle is supposed to give me money fast, but if it will still take just as long as the main dream itself for it to work, then it's like, why the fuck am I not doing it? But anyways, the point I'm trying to make in general is, except you have money to your name, you're always going to be like, as long as you need money, as long as you need to survive, as long as you need to eat, you're going to be like, you need to do something that will give you money. And if you choose not to do anything that will give you money, it will be very, very hard to focus, because every day when you realize you're out of food and there's nothing to eat this evening, it's hard for you to just say, okay, I'm very hungry, I've not eaten anything today, so let me just keep working on my dream. Like, it's hard for you to do that. You're just going to sit there and just be thinking and praying and calculating and all that. Like, that's very distracting. And if you go and get a job, when you come back in the evening, you'll be very tired. So it's also hard and distracting from the dream. And if you're doing all these random sides, also you're like taking attention away from the main thing and doing this thing. But the advantage is like, all these things, if executed on well, would actually still work, because somebody too might just focus on the dream, and it might be hard for him and everything, but just literally just focuses on it, bears the hunger and everything. Then 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, when the dream eventually clicks, like, all this will be history. And same thing with the job. Like I said, 9 to 5 during the day, you work at your job. 7 to 2 in the morning, at night, you work on your dream or your business. And the side hustle stuff, if you can find a side hustle that is good enough to give you money like relatively quickly, since you can either want to like support yourself and the dream. But the one I found that is like the best, if you can't save money, because obviously saving money, you need to first make money before you can save the money. It's like, if you can just live at your parents' place, and if like your parents are, I don't want to use the word broke, but if you can stay at home with no obligations and everything you need, like, you have it at home, that's like the best. Because when you are living by yourself, that's when you majorly have to focus on, what am I going to eat this night, what am I going to do. But if you're like at your parents' place, most times, like, they're always going to cook something, there's always going to be food to eat. And also, if like at your parents' place, you can get all the tools you need, all the resources you need to chase this dream thing. Like, if you don't need much money to buy it, and just being at your parents' place, you can easily afford it. I feel like that's the best, because, and also, you're not like, you don't really have any obligations. So something like school or job or something, like, you don't have any of that. Maybe it's just like some long holiday, or you just graduated renewally. Like, I feel like that's almost like the best of both worlds, because like, you don't necessarily have money saved up, but you don't really need money because you're at your parents' house and you have all the time in the world to literally grind on this thing. I feel like that's the best. Like, if you can get that type of environment, it's be very, very good. But it's not always very practical, and sometimes life is hard. Your parents might not have everything you need. Like, sometimes maybe the free food might be there, but the maybe tools you need or the resources you need for this dream, you might still need to go out and work. So anyways, in summary, the point I'm just trying to make is that I just realized that at that beginning stage, at least till you get out of the survival mode, because like Alex Moses said, you should think long term, but it's hard to think long term when you have rent coming up like 2 weeks. Like, it's very hard to think in the future when you have rent coming. So if you can just solve all these survival problems, it will not be easier for you to think long term. So, and I feel like to solve these survival problems, you have to distract yourself from your dream, which is either by sitting down there and bearing the hunger and contemplating the meaning of life, or going to get a job, or starting a side hustle. And obviously, this isn't gospel, just my own opinion, just my observation, just everything. If you find the information useful, use it. If not, discard it. Yeah.